FuneReality, Final Act. The rain had become so dense that it almost felt like being underwater. Thorwald could hardly see to the end of his gun, let alone anything beyond that. But it did not matter. He had become attuned to the environment, the darkness within and the darkness without running into each other, like a puddle of oil in water, blotting out everything else inimical to life, making it hard to breathe, hard to see, but easier to focus on the task at hand, the only thing that really mattered. His mother had died. "Mommy is gone." The voice seemed to reverberate around him, an echo of his own terrified voice, the voice of a frightened child waking up in the dark. "Where's my mommy? I want my mommy." Pain and fear, but they had been painted over. They had been subdued by the pure hatred at everyone around him. All those mindless, useless robots that had not known her like he had done, that would never understand what she had meant to him. There was a bleeding gash in the middle of his world, and it would never be able to heal. Everything had gone. He had not understood himself how much it had meant to him to have his mommy around, even if she was far away. He had moved away, he had moved on, he had wanted to make a go of it on his own, but in the end, he had always been tied to her. And now, they would all learn what it meant to feel nothing. Now they would all enter the shining darkness of the FuneReality. He saw the automatons moving in, heard, even over the din of the rain, the buzzing and whirring of their gears and wheels. And then he stood up, sprinted forward, a primal scream forcing its way out of his throat. The first blast was deafening, the recoil nearly breaking his shoulders. He ejected the shell, reloaded, fired again. There was another stench now of gunpowder and blood, the smell of death and fear, and a babble of confused voices, panicked screams, and he kept firing and reloading, automatically blind to everything around him, lost in a darkness of his own making. And at some point the noises stopped, and he was dimly aware of his body failing or falling to his knees, face down into the carnage. And he managed to turn around and look up to the darkened sky. Above him he could see the swirling vortex, and right there in the middle, the face of his mother, with her arms extended towards him. The rain had become so dense that it was like driving the car through the bottom of the ocean. Roland could hardly see the road, and despite knowing what he was about to do, he was afraid of running off the road and crashing the car now so close to the end. He was lost in the endless darkness of the void, his eyes seeing nothing but the way to the end, the way of all flesh. His mother had died, and he was alone in the darkness. "Where's my mommy? I want my mommy." He kept driving ever faster, heedless of the traffic, heedless of the fact that he was plowing along a sidewalk now. It was nearly empty given the weather, but what few people there were had to jump out of the way to not get run over. But to Roland, they were nothing more than extras from a play he refused to take any more part in. He just kept following the final thread of his plot to the edge of the bridge, where he had stood and spent so much time with his mother. "Mommy is gone." She would never again stand here, waiting for him, smiling when she saw him, no matter how long it had been or what had passed between them. He had failed her. His entire life he had failed her, and now that she was gone, there was nothing left for him. The car stopped with a screeching of tires, and in one fluid motion, he got out and swung himself over the railing, falling like the raindrops down towards the surface of the river deep below him, beginning to drown already during his fall. Below, he could see the swirling vortex, and right there in the middle, the face of his mother, with her arms extended towards him.